my channel. This is Style with Ufuma Omoloro. So today I'm going to be showing you how I made the 7 ways transformer dress. It's a long dress, tunic style, batwing, but it's very versatile. You can play with it. You can dress up or dress down. So it's a dress you can sew and sell. If you're new to the fashion industry, you're welcome. You want to subscribe to my channel so that each time I post a video, you're going to get to see it. And don't forget to also turn on the notification bell. So this particular style I made using 3 meters of Lycra fabric. So it's a 4-dimensional fabric. What I mean is that it stretches either way, right? So it was very easy to use. So if you're going to be buying fabric, always check for the stretch, and that way you will see if it is perfect for your project. Even if it's not a 4-dimensional stretch fabric, if it's a 2, you can still use it to make this high neck transformer piece that you can sew and sell. It's interesting, people will want to buy it. So yeah, this particular one I made can fit up to 3 sizes. So if you're ready to make money and start off a new career in fashion business, then this is the place to be. What are you waiting for? Let's get into the sewing room and get started. So I'm going to be using this fabric for this fitted batwing wrap dress. So I have the fabric folded, and you can see I have the folded sides here and the open sides the other way, and I've not cut the top yet, so it's just together still. So I'm using the full length of the 3 meters of this lovely, very stretchy tie and dye fabric. So to start, the first thing I'm going to do is to get my neckline. So I'm going to measure this, the width I want about 3 inches because it's stretch. So the more it stretches, the smaller you want the neckline to be. And the depth, I'm going to make also 3 inches. So just connect that like so. Yeah, so that's my neckline. And if you struggle to do this, don't forget you can just get the t-shirt neck ruler to do that. So once I've done that, the next thing I want to get now is my shoulder, and I'm going to make that 8 inches. That's your shoulder divided by 2. And for the armhole, I'm going to make it 8 inches. So you connect, you just draw a straight line for the armhole. It's a bit stretchy. It's a 4-dimensional stretch. So I don't have to worry much about, you know, looking at where which part of the grain of the fabric as to where it stretches the most. So I've gotten that. Then the bust, I'm going to make the bust. I'm still going to make it about 40. I will need to, that's my bust divided by 4. And I'm also going to measure from the top now. I'm going to stop at about 15 inches to be able to start shaping. That's for the waist. I don't know if this chalk, if you can see the drawing, but if you can't, just listen. Okay, so my waistline at about that 15, I'm going to make it 34. A bit smaller than usual because the fabric stretches. So from this bit, I'm just going to make it a straight line like so. Okay, so that's like so, you know, to get the shape. Now there are 2 options. I can decide to add my sleeve. I could decide to make a cut together sleeve, or I can just decide to cut the armhole and add a sleeve. So feel free to do whatever you think is best. So what I'm going to do now is try to get my scissors, and we're going to cut that way. So I'm going to decide to go for my separate sleeve. So for the rest of the fabric, I'll use that to make the sleeve of the dress. So let me get my scissors, and we're going to cut. It's quite straightforward, you know. So I didn't really cut the armhole, but I'm doing that now. So that's for the waist. Okay, and now before I cut for the, let's just go on, let's cut this. A lot of people find it difficult to be able to cut without pattern, but I think is one of the easiest things you can do. Yeah, so that's what we've got there. So this is going to cater to the width of the dress, the wrap dress, the bubble wrap dress. I'm just trimming that. But before I do that, I'm going to cut. I just need some bit of this for what's it called, the wrap, to add as a cord to make it longer. Let me see what's here. If I can get that from this, I may not necessarily need to bother taking some from the side. So I'm just going to try to cut my sleeve. Right, so my secret to cutting my sleeve, I always get my 3/4 length. So I take my elbow measurement, that determines how wide that is. Then I also get the other bit, that's the bottom of it, and I get the widest part of my arm as well. So once I'm able to connect that, it's easier to get the perfect sleeve. Right, so I'm not really adding much for the sewing allowance, and this is because it's a stretchy fabric. It's very stretchy, so I'm making it a bit smaller than usual. Right, so I'm just going to trim down. Okay, so this is a sleeve that is going to go into the wrap dress. I just notched the top, so this will go in there. Right, so this is going to go in there. Right, so let's see what we've got. Can this be okay for the belt? I think it may be a bit small, but we can always join that to form the belt. So before I cut, I was just trying to verify that. It's always good to do that. So I'm just going to straighten this out. Yeah, so I'm going to add this to the ends there to make it long enough. So I just need 2 of those pieces, and I'm going to add them as belts to the side so it can tie around my waist. So I'm just going to make the end bit a bit curved, like so. Yeah, so this will go into there. Now I'm going to cut my neckline. So you see they are together. I've not separated them. So I'm going to create a shoulder slope 1 inch. So 1 inch from the edge, and I'll just cut towards the neckline. Then I'm going to cut together. While the 2 pieces are together, I'll cut about 1 inch. Right, so I just want to take this down a little bit further because I don't like my armhole to be too snug. Yeah, so So there we've got that. So what I'm going to do next is to separate them. You see they're already separated. So now I'm going to bring down the front neckline. So the back neckline is 3 inches by 1 and the front neckline is 3 by 3. So that's what we've got there. So I'm going to go sew. I'm going to join the sleeve and I'm going to sew this like that, and I'm going to close that as well. Then I'm going to shape on the fabric to get that fitted form. Now for the neckline, I want to add like a band to the neckline, so I'm just going to still use one of the pieces I've got here. So I'm just going to leave it as it is, just straight, and that should be able to go around the neckline. So I'm going to cut that to size. I don't want it too wide. I just want it to be about 2 inches wide. That way I don't have to worry about adding bias to the neckline. So that's about 2 inches. Add a little bit, 1/4 of an inch, just for sewing allowance. Yeah. So what I'll do is just close the edges and add this to the neckline. And the other piece I still got, that I can use for the sleeve, because sometimes it's tricky to sew on stretch fabric. So I'm going to divide that into 2 and I'm going to add that to the sleeve, to the bottom of the sleeve, to add a more perfect finishing, a nicer finish to it. So it's very stretchy, so I'm not really worried. I'll just pull so that it can go around the sleeves, the bottom of both sleeves. So yeah, I'm just straightening that out. That's the sleeve there. So what I'm going to do is add this as the cuff of the sleeve. So this is going to go right in there. So we need 2 pieces. I'm going to open that up. And I'm ready to go sew. Can't wait to wear this, because it's going to be so lovely. So if you like what you see, don't forget to give a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel.